Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Talk Gas. So today I'm joined with Ashwin and we're going to be talking about his car history and what he did to his cars and stuff.
Hey guys. So when I was first looking at my car, it was back in like 2016. So I had a few options, but in the end, I came to the Volkswagen Polo 1.2 TSI SCL, and the main reason why I picked this was because it had a turbo and 5 doors and 5 seats. So it's quite like a nice like starter car as a first car.
Nice. So let's talk about the Polo in general. So 1.2 TSI, that's an EA 888 engine. So similar sort of setup in terms of Mark 7 GTIs, your Audi S3s and stuff like that, just on a smaller scale. Um, Pretty reliable first car, I would say. Nothing
Yeah,
too hot hatch, lukewarm sort of thing. Just a standard car. Seems nice. I would have probably gone for something similar as well. Um, let's talk about some of the other cars that were as like options for you in terms of when you came to looking at your first car. Um,
so I was looking at the Ford Fiesta Black Edition, Audi A1 S-Line, Fiat Grande Punto, and a Suzuki Swiss Sport. All of them were turbocharged except the Suzuki, which was naturally aspirated. And they all had quite over like 100 horsepower as well. Like all of them were, the Fiesta was the highest horsepower, I think, 140 horsepower. And the Fiat, uh, Audi.
so let's talk about the Fiesta. The Fiesta's
Okay,
three pot 1 liter 140 brakes. So that's the ZTEC S Black Edition, right?
yeah, ZTEC S Black Edition.
Yeah, we'll get into the ZTEC S Black Edition later on when we uh, get into some other cars later on in another episode.
Mhm.
But the other two being the Audi A1 and Fiat Gran Punto being 1.4 turbos. So surely those two would have been like further up on your list, no? Just because of engine size and potential performance power that you could get out of them, right?
Yeah, so those two are the ones I wanted to get, to be fair, but the Audi was way too expensive
Yeah,
compared to the Polo. It was like 3 or 4K more. But the Fiat was 3K cheaper, but the insurance was way higher.
right.
And yeah, I couldn't really justify it, spending more for the insurance.
So your decision was mainly based off the insurance factor, right?
Yeah, because I knew like wherever car I get, I have to pay for the insurance for the next few years as well. So if I get a car with like a cheap starting insurance, then
Yeah.
over the next few years it'll get lower and lower. So
I think it's a good point to mention to the viewers that we're actually based in London, so our insurance prices are
yeah,
ridiculous anyway. Um,
it's way too much. I paid way too much for my 1.2.
yeah. So talking about Suzuki Swift and getting back to that, that's sort of an oddball car when we look at the rest of the cars because that's naturally aspirated, a bit like your old EP3 Honda Civics in terms of being naturally aspirated with VTEC and stuff like that. But interesting matchup. And yeah, so let's get into what you did to the Polo after all.
Alright, so basically the first ever mod I did to the Polo was the GTI Grill, which was like a quick mod, like 30 minutes, and it made the car look way cleaner. And obviously, I took out the GTI badge because I ain't no poser. But yeah,
Yeah, not about that up badging stuff. The
nah,
M
yeah.
badge
So
owners.
yeah, this grill it just made the car look a bit cleaner, and I like the honeycomb look over the like before it had like just a slit, which
Yeah,
I don't like that much. So the honeycomb looked a bit nicer.
no, definitely. And you've got now top and bottom grills matching. They definitely look really good.
Yeah. So I
Cool,
did the lower one with a pinstripe, quick and easy mod.
nice, cool. Next build you did was what we're looking at here.
Oh, so that's the Android head unit which I got because the other head unit that came with the car was an RTD 310,
Hmm.
and it was a very basic head unit, and I could only use like listen to music either through the aux or through the USB. So I had to have like a USB storage connected to it, which was wrong. So I didn't have Bluetooth or anything, so I got an Android one which had Bluetooth and had like all the Android apps, so I could use Google Maps, Waze, speed camera apps, all that stuff.
Nice, nice. So I think it's really important as like obviously as an 18-year-old, we're all going to be blasting that music at 18, and not being able to connect your phone to a head unit is a bit of a joke in a car. This was a 62 plate, right?
Yeah, 62 plate.
So yeah, so
So yeah,
I think getting between that era of Mark 5 and Mark 6 GTIs, sorry, Mark 5 and Mark 6 Golfs, um, I think VW were really poor with their like sort of head unit choices, and getting that like sort of dot matrix sort of head units. I think it was really poor by VW to put that in a car, especially something like a Polo that's usually marketed to like a younger audience.
yeah, exactly. Like you could get like a navigation screen and stuff with the higher end models,
Yeah,
or like as an extra option, but obviously this car didn't come with it. So yeah.
cool. And then what do we have here? We're looking at making some more noise, right?
Yeah, so these are all the noise modifications I did to the car. So new exhaust. So the stock exhaust was a 1.75-inch diameter exhaust, and then I upgraded to a fully capped back exhaust that bumps the diameter to like 2.25 inches, and had one resonator in the middle and like a blue chrome burnt tip as well.
Nice. So
And
that tip was probably inspired from like the Jap can exhaust that you get on like your Hondas and stuff, right?
yeah, exactly. I wanted to get it for a bigger exhaust, obviously, like a 5-inch exhaust, but
Yeah,
not really possible. But yeah,
cool. And where did you get
and
that
then
done, and how much did you end up paying for that?
so that was done at Fast Lane Styling in Romford, and I
Yeah,
paid 370 for it, and it wasn't too bad to be fair for the price. But I had to pay an extra 30 quid just for the tip, the exhaust
yeah,
tip. But yeah,
cool. And then the image on the right, what do we have here? We've got an induction kit and some hosing.
yeah. So I went with a K&N air filter.
Yep,
So it came with the air filter and like the K&N box as well. And then next to it, the blue hosing is basically for the blow off valve, and I got an upgraded blow off valve. So it was a forged blow off valve,
yep.
and I got that for like 80 quid, and the K&N air filter was like 160.
Not bad, not bad. I think that's a really important point to touch on as well. I feel like doing these remaps and power upgrades, especially at 18, I don't think it's really going to add to your driving pleasure. I think doing things like exhaust, your induction kits, that's probably going to help you enjoy the car a bit more than some additional power. Especially being 18, you don't want to be catching those speeding tickets and points, getting those points on your license.
Yeah, exactly. Like with this car, I could drag it out and not break the speed limit at all.
Yeah.
So that was a nice one bonus.
So here's a clip of how the car sounded like with the blow off valve. Cool. So that sounded really good. And I think what do we have here? We've got like a splitter, some canards. I see some black mirrors as well, right?
Yeah, so these are all the other exterior mods I did to the car, and like the splitter was like a £50 Wish splitter I got. So it wasn't like the best quality thing, but it did the job and it looked kind of nice as well. So it wasn't bad for 50 quid. And then the canards were like 6 quid,
Yeah.
and mirror caps just made like to break up the fully white look of the car basically.
No, I think it's looking really aggressive here. And getting a splitter of Wish is a very risky move, let's say, because you might not
Yeah,
end up with what you were looking at.
yeah, I had to wait like 2 weeks for the splitter to come basically,
Uh,
and yeah, in the end it was all right, but yeah, did the
no,
job.
looks good, looks good. Cool. So from that, what did we get into?
So yeah, after that, I got bored of the stock front bumper from the Polo.
Yeah.
So I got upgraded to the R-line front bumper with a TRC splitter, and yeah, I think this just makes the car look way more aggressive, and it just changed the whole look of the car basically. From like I don't know, kind of like before with the stock bumper, it looked kind of too cute-ish, like, but with this one, it looks proper aggressive.
No, 100%. I think the R-line bumpers are really rare. They're slightly different to the GTI bumpers, and obviously all the standard Polos, the SEL, the SE, they all look the same. So this helps it
Yeah,
stand out. Uh,
yeah,
Definitely the right move to make. Um,
and then
Yeah, so on here we've got the rear bumper. I think we had that changed, right, to an R-line rear bumper as well to match the front.
Yeah, so obviously, like the back of the Polo looks still stock, and I wanted to change it up, so I got a matching R line rear
Yeah,
bumper painted in the same color as well, and yeah, this just made the car look way nicer with the rear diffuser and stuff.
nice. I
So
think
yeah,
that exhaust fits really well with that rear bumper. And did you install all these mods yourself, or
yeah. So all these mods were done by myself and with help with like all my friends and stuff, except the exhaust, obviously, which was done at a proper shop.
nice? So I think that's really important as well. Being 18, I think one way to bond with your mates and stuff is definitely to start installing mods and stuff yourself. Um, cool. And then
Yeah,
from here we've got accidents.
yeah. So this was the first accident that happened to my Polo. Like this was after a few months after installing the grill
Yeah.
and after 1 full year of ownership of the car, basically. And yeah, some guy just reversed into my car like at quite big speed, and then yeah, dented the bonnet, knocked out the headlight, damaged the front bumper, damaged the front wing, and yeah, it was very annoying.
So this is I think insurance's worst nightmare. Being what I think 18 at the time, right?
Yeah, I was 18 or 19, I can't remember, but yeah, it was yeah.
So 18, 19 at the time, and then yeah, being insurance's worst nightmare, right? So you've got now got a claim on your or a non-fault claim on your insurance. I guess
Yeah.
that must have affected um your insurance premiums, right, for the next year.
I thought it would like with if I was to stay with the same insurance company, it
Yeah,
would have increased my insurance by like 200 to £300,
yeah,
which was already a lot. Like so, but since I changed to a different company, it was fine.
nice. This is the car that went into you. So an E39 5 Series. Um, his car doesn't look too bad, to be fair. I think that's really important to know as well that old cars don't seem to come off as bad in accidents. I think that is just literally because they are solid as a tank and they don't really have like a crumple zone.
Yeah, it was just like a few scratches really at the back corner, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so you got the car repaired, right? So
Yeah.
this was during getting the car repaired.
Mhm.
I think it's really important to note that the ride height on these polos is ridiculously high.
Yeah, which to be fair, I don't mind because living in London with speed humps and stuff, like you have to get used to it,
Yeah,
especially like these potholes and all that stuff. So I don't really mind being it that high. But yeah.
yeah, especially being a first car, you don't really
Mm.
want to be going through splitters, because insurance is high, buying the car is
Yeah.
expensive. You don't really want to be forking out for another splitter every couple months. Cool. So we end up with, I assume this is the final accident, that the one that took it away.
Yeah. This was only a few months after I installed. Basically, did after a few months, I did the R-line conversion basically on the car,
Yeah,
and it was during lockdown. And then some guy who was either high or drunk or something, I don't know, crashed into my car and like five other cars, basically five other cars altogether. But yeah, my
right.
car took the hit.
Yeah. So your car's taken the brunt of the accident, and it looks like
Yeah,
it's been shoved what half a car length onto the curb as well, right?
yeah, it was all the way up onto the curb. They hit the other car behind it, and then the car behind it hit another car behind that, and then two other cars on the other side of the road as well.
So yeah, the rear of the cars are
Yeah,
battered.
that poor diffuser.
Yeah, so that was the end of the Polo, let's say. And insurance
Yeah,
obviously sorted that out. And
yeah.
of course you needed a new car, right? So this is where the story ends for the Polo. But I guess you guys will
Mhm.
have to join us back for the second episode of Let's Talk Gas, where we will find out what Ashman replaced his car with.
Yeah, it's a very nice car. A lot more powerful than what I had before. Way more powerful than the Polo. But yeah.
Cool, guys. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe.